Hello, I'm Phil Waldrell, one of the co-owners and one of the directors of Unique Senior Care. We know that you're on a journey and that this involves big decisions for you going forward when you're looking at the options of living care for one of your loved ones. Me, together with a few other team members, are going to just talk you through some of the aspects you need to be aware of when considering using us or anyone else for that matter. We're going to talk to you about the costs, where we cover, where we can provide the service, and how quickly we can put care in place for you. How we recruit our caregivers, whether you can meet them beforehand, and what you need to provide for them to be able to care for your loved one in their home. So by the end of this video, you'll be fully educated and informed on what to expect from us or any other care provider that you might choose.
Our living care service covers the whole of England, Bath to Brighton, Leicester to London, even going as far as Warwick to Watford.
Anywhere in England is where we cover, and that's principally driven by our regulations which are laid down by the Care Quality Commission. For our living care services, we charge a daily rate of £255 for an individual, that's £1,785 per week, and for a couple it's £320 a day, which makes the charge £2,240 a week. For respite, palliative or complex care, the charges are £300 per day for an individual person, making £2,100 per week, £355 per day for a couple, and that's £2,485 per week.
So some companies may be a little bit cheaper because one, they may not be regulated, and two, they may be an agency, so their caregivers are not contracted. All of our caregivers are contracted and we offer a managed service.
So how it works with living care, we introduce two carers to our client. And that's all about them seeing the same faces. So they've got the consistency and the continuity. With those same faces coming in to see them, they get to build up that relationship and build up the trust with them.
You will typically have perhaps Sally for 2 weeks. When Sally finishes, Susie comes and takes over. When Susie finishes, Sally comes back.
As with everything pretty much in life, if some things don't work out, they don't work out. So we've got a full responsibility to our clients that if they're not gelling with a certain carer, we have that responsibility to take that carer out and put somebody in that they feel much more comfortable with.
Our job, right from the start, is to get the right people in place. A living caregiver effectively is a personal assistant. And that means that they will do anything to ensure that our clients are able to continue to live independently in their own homes.
Our carers are there to help and assist their clients from the moment they wake up to the point that they go to bed in the evening. And that's anything with personal care to getting dressed in the morning, to getting their breakfast. They then are able to assist with all medication. They help with companionship, any small exercises, gentle rehabilitation, cooking nutritional meals, doing all light housework duties, laundry, etc.
So that one-to-one support means that any preferences can be accommodated on any day of the week. So if Strictly Come Dancing is on and the client wants to watch it, they can. If they like to stay in bed till 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, they can.
As for overnight, should the client wake up having to use a bathroom, or they just wake up are a bit unsure, a bit confused, a bit upset, our carers are there to be able to assist them up to 2 times per night.
We employ a lot of people, but we also have a responsibility to make sure that we're only hiring the best people. Today, our applicant to hire rate is typically for every 80 applicants, we will hire 1 person.
When we are considering employing a living carer, we always do what we call our mum test on them. So when we're speaking to them on the phone, we would ask ourselves, having gone through quite a conversation by that stage, whether we would deem that carer suitable to look after our own mum or our own father or any other relative that we have. And if we think that they would be great to look after our own loved ones, then it goes further on from that.
It's quite a journey for them, but when they get to the end, it's a really rewarding job for them, and it's great for our clients because we only have the best.
Can you meet carers before you start? Due to the fact our caregivers can be anywhere in the UK, sometimes we would have to arrange a video call.
So we could have a carer, for example, that lives in Manchester, but they have to provide care to a client that lives in Essex. So if this is the case, they can't just hop in the car and pop down to meet them. Plus they could also be in a placement somewhere else. So we can do a video, like a FaceTime, a WhatsApp, a call that the client can actually see the carer face to face, and they can speak to them and ask them questions that way. At point of consultation, when the care manager goes out to meet and greet their clients initially, they go out to gather as much information as possible so that they can put a comprehensive care plan together for the client's needs.
To make sure the caregiver is matched to you, on assessment, I will take all the details of your personal life, your hobbies, and what your needs are.
And it's at that point when they've gathered all of the information, got a handle on the client's likes, dislikes, etc. So for example, if a client didn't like somebody with blonde hair that wore red shoes, we certainly wouldn't pop that person in. But we match very carefully from that point onwards our caregivers to our client.
In terms of provision for a living caregiver, clearly they need their own room, their own space that they can call their own.
Their own room with a bed, a few drawers and a little bit of hanging space.
The carer has to have a 2-hour break every day, so they have a little bit of time to themselves, a bit of downtime. And we also ask that the client provide and take into consideration the carer's meal requirements as well. And that can be done either by providing a budget, or they can just add the carer's meal requirements onto their weekly shopping.
The nature of this business is that sometimes it's a crisis, things need to happen quickly, and we can put care in place relatively quickly.
We can start care within 3 to 4 days.
If it was an urgent case and somebody needed care putting in quite quickly, we have been able to turn it around within 24 hours.
Give us the time, we can get things in place fairly quickly.
We do work with other providers. We will work from anything from the GPs, occupational therapists, physiotherapists, district nurses.
And we have connections with mobility companies that provide wheelchairs and aids.
If the client lives in an area where we can't provide the hourly care to work alongside the living care that we provide, we work closely with other providers that we know and we trust that can fill in and provide that hourly care for us.
This video should have given you a really good understanding about what we can do and how we can help. Wherever you are in the care journey, we're here to help you every step of the way. And whether you make a decision today or you're in the process of considering your options, please don't forget that we're here to help however we can.